Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is Justin Vlogs and I'm here back with the second part of Spider-Man No Way Home summary. So guys, let's just straight dive into it and as we were saying in the last video, Green Goblin, his darkest self has emerged. And Green Goblin says a evil motivation speech. So Electro also gets motivated by his words and he just removes the device that removes all electricity from his body and he goes berserk. Also does Green Goblin. As Green Goblin goes crazy, he starts fighting Spider-Man. And during all this was happening, we should know that Dr. Connors, the lizard, the green lizard, was in the truck which they came through. He stayed back, but when the fight started happening between Green Goblin, when all of the people started fighting, the Dr. Connors also went out of the truck. He started fighting, and he starts fighting Spider-Man, I told you there was going to be consequences. The fight keeps going. At the end, Spider-Man keeps fighting with Green Goblin, and there's a sad thing that happens, and Aunt May gets killed by Green Goblin. Then now we move on to the part where Ned and MJ are together. And once they got to know what was happening, where Spider-Man lives, MJ couldn't handle it. She was actually ready to press the button so that it could it could send all the people who came from different universes back to their own universe. Then before that, MJ told Ned if he could bring Peter or Spider-Man to him because he's feeling lonely over there. He tried calling Spider-Man because they realized that he could use the magic ring which he got from Spider-Man, which he took from Doctor Strange. So he started saying what was that again? Yeah, can I find Spider-Man? I want to go where Spider-Man is. He said some magic word like that. So Spider-Man appears and they are confused because it is not Tom Holland from their own. I mean, it's not Spider-Man from their own universe. It is literally, oh my god, this is an iconic moment. It was Spider-Man from The Amazing Spider-Man. Yes, it is actually him. It is so awesome to see him once again. It was like many rumors, and I did not watch any spoilers or any theories or conspiracies about this movie. So it was like a pretty good feeling for me. So it was pretty nice for me. And Andrew Garfield is now in Spider-Man No Way Home. And so MJ gets confused and she asks many questions to the Amazing Spider-Man. And he tries to prove that he's Spider-Man, and at the end they're like, okay, you're Spider-Man from a different universe, and they try to call back Spider-Man from their own universe. I won't say Spider-Man from the universe, I'll just say Tom Holland. They try to call Tom Holland back. So again, Ned tried to do the magic and Spider-Man again appeared. And this time it was Spider-Man from the original Spider-Man series. What a nostalgic feeling to see him again. He kind of seemed old. Yeah, it is. How many years has it been since this movie released? So yeah, it is understandable. And yeah, I don't want to keep talking about this and waste any more time. So let's get right into the next scene. So in the next scene, the Amazing Spider-Man and the original Spider-Man start talking with MJ and Ned. They tell the situation, what is happening right now, and both of the Spider-Mans tell to MJ and Ned that is there any place where Tom Holland would be at his lowest, or anywhere he would go when he's feeling sad, or anywhere when he would go if he felt angry, lonely, depressed, anything. As MJ being Tom Holland's girlfriend, she knew, so they went together to find out Tom Holland. So they found out, and she confronted Tom Holland, and she told there are another few people standing with them. That's when Tom Holland realizes there was Spider-Man from the different universes, and they just kept talking back with each other. And Tom Holland was telling, you have to go back to your universe. Then the Amazing Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, tries to comfort Tom Holland, telling we can get through this. And yeah, that's how this scene goes. And then Tom Holland guesses of giving one more chance to himself as he believes in his own aunt's words. That is, with great power comes great responsibility. And by the way, let me just mention this. While I was watching the movie, there were few people sitting behind me. They're literally screaming out of their lungs. With great power comes great responsibility. When they heard that, oh my god, they're screaming as if they never heard this from their mom's mouth. It feels so irritating because for every single sentence or every single appearance of Spider-Man or any of the villains, these guys are just screaming their lungs out. I'm like, why? It just spoiled the mood. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, anyways, the next scene, what happens is that they all go to a laboratory and they start working on the cures for all these people. So, they were just talking with each other, making the cure, and Ned, being Ned, he asked Tobey Maguire, the original Spider-Man, do you have a best friend? And Tobey Maguire says, I used to. He tried to kill me and he died. And imagine when Ned heard this, Ned was like, oh my god, is this gonna happen in this universe? That's what he's thinking. And he goes up to Tom Holland and he says, don't worry, I will never be a villain and try to kill you. Oh man, Ned is funny as hell, I swear to god. Ned is iconic character. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are close to the end of the Spider-Man No Way Home. This was just a quick summary, and after this we'll have few more talks. Before that, let's just finish off the summary. And anyways, now all of the three Spider-Mans go to the Statue of Liberty, which is under construction in the Tom Holland's universe, and they're just preparing for the fight against all the villains. And they prepared the cures for everything, and they are prepared. So I do believe all three of them were a bit nervous, and they were just a bit awkward silence between them. So they just started talking with each other. It was a really fun. It was really nice to see, to be honest. It's like a different feeling. It's like a child's dream come true, I would say. It's kind of nice to see. Anyways, the fight starts off with Electro coming up, flying with high electricity up to the top of the Statue of Liberty, and all of the three Spider-Mans dismissed to their own area. They dispatched, they went to different corners of the site. They started fighting. Electro catches Spider-Man, and at that time, Dr. Octavius also comes. He has like an evil aura at that time. He grabs Spider-Man, about to rip his head off. But guess what happened? He almost pulled out the main source of energy for Electro out of himself. It was really nice to see that Octavius was still in his good side and not bad even after the upgrade that Spider-Man gave him. So it's really nice to see. So we understood that Dr. Octavius is still in the good side. And then MJ and Ned gave a cure to one of the Spider-Man, and they were trying to close the portal, but Ned couldn't. So the Dr. Connors, the lizard, found out the portal, and he was about to go catch them. He went inside the portal, and now he's inside the house of Ned. And Ned and MJ runs in circles around the kitchen and goes through the portal back to the site. They keep on fighting, and the Dr. Connors also comes back through the portal, and now all of them are in the site. It seems like an intense moment because the Spider-Mans were fighting against the villains, and now they also have to protect Ned and MJ. So it's a big task for all three of the Spider-Men. And then MJ suggests to Ned, telling, open another portal, we will be safe over there. So Ned opens the portal, and guess who came? I mean, it wasn't supposed to be someone to come through the portal. They were trying to get out, but Doctor Strange has come. So it seems like another person to protect them. So it was really nice to see him again, because for most of the movie, I mean, right after Spider-Man left him in his own dimension, mirror dimension, it was a bit nothing we heard about or seen about Doctor Strange. So it was nice. It was reassuring to see him again. And MJ and Ned tells Doctor Strange that he made the cures for all of these people. He could help them all, and yeah, Doctor Strange was impressed. Then later on, the Amazing Spider-Man saves Sandman. He removes his sand form back to his normal human being form. and then shows up one of the iconic villains. To be honest, I'm calling him iconic because out of all the villains, I feel Green Goblin was the masterclass. He was a next level character in the Spider-Man series. That's the reason I feel him. I feel like he's the most best villain in the whole Spider-Man series. So, anyways, Green Goblin comes in with a beautiful entrance. And Green Goblin attacks the Statue of Liberty. I mean, not Statue of Liberty, it was full covered with tubes and all. And MJ was standing there. He attacked at the area where MJ was standing and she starts falling. And this reminded me of the scene in Amazing Spider-Man. The day that he lost Gwen Stacy. It was a bit sad, but guess what happened? Tom Holland tries to save him, but the lizard comes out of nowhere, grabs him and starts fighting him. And Amazing Spider-Man saw this. He couldn't. He had flashbacks. It was like really nice to see. It was really nice to see. I was like so happy, but I still had like the fear, like what if Green Goblin comes attack him? That was one of my fears, but thankfully he saved MJ and he starts crying because come on, we can understand why he would cry at that moment. Then we see Doctor Strange flying up to the sky trying to do a spell so he could remove everything that happened so far. And while doing it, the whole construction area around the Statue of Liberty collapses. And right now, let me just recap this fight. Octavius is saved, Electron is saved, Sandman is saved, and also Dr. Connors is also saved at this time. Now, the last and only villain remaining is Green Goblin. And he's fighting Tom Holland. As Tom Holland knows he's the one who killed Aunt May, with his rage, he's fighting Green Goblin with pure dominance over him, and it feels like he's about to murder him. So the other Spider-Men see this and they couldn't handle it. And Spider-Man takes Green Goblin's flight machine, I would say. He took him and tried to stab Green Goblin, but that's when Tobey Maguire jumps in and stops Tom Holland. He's telling us that don't kill him. You have other choices, don't kill him. And Green Goblin sees this and takes his opportunity to stab Tobey Maguire. And that's when Green Goblin drops his guard and starts talking with Tom Holland. At that time, the Amazing Spider-Man threw the cure for Green Goblin to Tom Holland, and Tom Holland ejects the medicine or the cure into Green Goblin, and now he's back to his good old self. And Green Goblin realizes what he has done and he's repenting for his sins or his mistakes that he has caused. And both the Amazing Spider-Man and Tom Holland rushes towards Tobey Maguire. They think that he's dead. But thank goodness that he's fine, he's not dead, he can handle it, it's not at his vital point, so he's fine. Then Tom Holland realizes that Doctor Strange is doing this spell so that the whole world forgets who Tom Holland is. So, not the whole world, I mean Doctor Strange was generous this time, so he tried to make a spell that Zendaya, Ned and Aunt May, or Happy, not Aunt May was dead, I'm sorry, or Happy wouldn't forget that who Spider-Man is. But Spider-Man told that Tom Holland told Doctor Strange that it's fine, it will take you more time to do the spell, so you can just make the whole world forget. Because at that time, it was a bit hard for Doctor Strange and he was about to bring people from other dimensions into their world. And then Doctor Strange told, okay, I'll give you some time, go tell everyone goodbye, go to everyone and tell you goodbyes. And only some time, like 4 or 5 minutes. The Spider-Man first goes back to both the Amazing Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, just talks with them. He's like, they have no words, so they felt like brothers during this small amount of time, so they just hugged each other, and that was the last time they saw each other. It was really nice to see. It was so good. Like, that's the time when everyone needs to be cheering, whistling and all. That's the time. But some people, like I told earlier, when they heard with great power comes great responsibility, they start screaming their lungs out. That was a bit annoying. Then he goes on to MJ and Ned, tell them what is going to happen. They're going to forget who Spider-Man is, but Spider-Man promises them that he will come back and make them remember the past. And that's how that particular day gets over. Now, the next day it's going normally, nothing has happened as if. And Spider-Man just went to the cafe where MJ works, and it seems like MJ was saying hello to Spider-Man, but right behind Spider-Man was Ned. And yeah, Spider-Man knew the spell worked completely. They forgot who he is. And by the way, I forgot to mention, all of the other Spider-Mans and all of the people who came from the other universes have gone back to their own universe. From there, Spider-Man just goes towards MJ and orders a cup of coffee and just talks with her. And at that time, MJ and Spider-Man are feeling a bit connection between them. They don't, like trusting each other, but in a sense, it's like it made a bond at that time. So Spider-Man was a bit happy and he left. And then he went to Aunt May's grave and he's just standing there thinking about what all happened. And then shows up Happy. Even Happy does not remember or knows who Spider-Man is. So Happy was just telling him it's fine, it's happening, it's life. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, take care, thank you. And basically, it's kind of sad, Yeah, anyways, and then Spider-Man goes back to his old apartment and starts staying there alone with no one knowing him or recognizing him ever again. So guys, we have finished the summary of Spider-Man No Way Home, and the next video is going to be talking about the post-credits scene, my review on how the movie was, my predictions on what could be the next possible upcoming movie for Spider-Man. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So this is the end of the summary. Now we're going to go into the more interesting stuff, like the post-credits scene, predictions, what I expect in the next movie. So guys, take care. See you in the next video and peace out.